Okay, here she blows. Alrighty. Let me just check that every. Alright. Alright, welcome back to the 36th live episode of the Hagwon Startup Podcast, the podcast that addresses topics relevant to the discussion of anything and everything related to the living and working in South Korea. I'm your host Jack, located in the city of Ulsan. And the podcast addresses topics relevant to the discussion of anything. Thank you. In Ulsan, and today is the 2nd of September. While the original goal of the podcast was to provide a strong focus on the starting and operating of Hagwon and Gombubang businesses here in South Korea, a more recent direction I've been trying to take the podcast into is in talking to expats who work outside of the ESL industry here in South Korea. And tonight, I have the pleasure of welcoming Sharoon Javaid. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. And Sharoon is a YouTuber here in South Korea. He's based in Seoul. He has a hefty following of about over 70,000 subscribers now. So that's who we're going to talk to today. So welcome to the podcast, Sharoon.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh no, thanks a lot for taking on the invitation and the challenge.
Yeah, sorry, I got diverted. I was also like trying to say hi in your live podcast.
No worries.
All right, so, I got.
Right, okay, so maybe, I don't know, so I got to know Sharoon. I found Sharoon's, so sorry, first of all, your YouTube channel name is Sharoona.
That's right,
with Sharoona. An A. So it's your Sharoon is your first name, and then you added the A.
Yeah, it's actually, probably in Korea, it's usually when people call your name, like for example, if your name is Jin, they will say Jina, or they put A in the end, like Kim Yuna, or I don't know, I can't remember his name. Anyway, so I had this friend from LA, and he would always call me, he was Korean American.
Right.
And he would always call me like Sharoona. So
Gotcha.
My name is Sharoon, but all my friends who are close to me, they would call me Sharoona, especially who are Korean. And that's where I got this name, like Sharoona.
Nice. Sorry, I was just checking also the sound. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sharoona, as in, I understand what you mean. So it's like the Koreanized version of your name, basically.
That's so true. So it's going to stay with me forever. That's what Korea gave me.
That's really, and that's very good. Like picking your YouTube channel name is very important. I think that's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
So, would you care, to tell us before we jump into the whole your YouTube existence and stuff? Maybe you could just tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Like you have a large following. I don't know if you have done any videos that are specifically on who you are and how you got to be here in Korea. So, when did you come to Korea first?
Okay. Before I tell you that, there is one video, that video was made by a friend of mine.
Okay.
So he was trying to make this documentary kind of video, and he asked me, Sharoon, I want to make, so that video is on his channel, but so it's on my, what do you call this, on my collaboration videos. Mm-hmm. So yeah, people could watch that, and I always, when they ask me, I always put the link there. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, so, again, as you mentioned, my name is Sharoon. I'm originally from Pakistan. Mm-hmm. And I was, when did I come to Korea? So before coming to Korea, I was in the Philippines. It's been a while, it's been more than 10 years now.
In Korea?
Yeah, in Korea.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, it's been a while. And I was working here before starting my master's.
Okay.
So yeah, I was working, and then I started my master's. Now I graduated, and I will be leaving soon now.
Right. Okay. So you didn't come in here as a YouTuber, or did you?
No, I wasn't actually. I was here as a missionary because so a lot of people don't know that. So mostly people know that Pakistan is a Muslim country. So everybody assumed that I'm a Muslim, but actually there are few Christian or other religions. So I was actually working as a missionary in the Philippines,
Okay.
and the organization that I was working with, they would train people, and then they would send people to different countries in the world, right? And then you were not allowed to choose like where you want to go,
Really?
because it was a kind of volunteer work, and they would see like, okay, this person has this kind of talent, so this person should go there, and this person is, let's say, has some skills from medical field, so maybe they need some missionary in the medical field somewhere, so they will send that person there, right? So it's just the last day they will announce, okay, Sharoon, you're going to South Korea, and that's how my name was announced. I
Wow.
never, yeah. So that's one of your questions, right?
Yeah.
Why did you come to Korea? So I never decided to come to Korea. It was a destiny.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's really interesting. I mean, basically happenstance, you happen to be here, right?
That's so true. Yeah, yeah.
And so, so 10 years ago, that would have been like, what, 2009 or so, right?
Yeah, 2008, 9, something. I can't even. It's like it's really, really long time. Yeah.
Sure. Um,
So I was actually, when I came to Korea, I wasn't assigned, or I wasn't working in Seoul. I was working in Gangneung.
okay.
So I don't know if you've been there. It's they have a very beautiful beach there.
Gangneung? No, I don't think I know Gangneung exactly where it is.
Okay, Gangneung, yeah. So anyways, Gangneung has. Have you heard Soraksan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's the area. Gangneung, Soraksan is that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I worked for a year. And yeah, then I moved to another church, and they had these institutes where I was working, and then I started my master's, and then after my master's, I started my YouTube channel, which I will tell you after you ask the question, like about my YouTube thing.
Um, so, did you? Cause I looked at your videos, and from the beginning, like you in your videos, your Korean is quite good. So, like from what I understand, is a lot of the missionaries that are sent over here from, I guess, the States, or a lot of white faces that I've seen for the most part.
All right.
Usually, from what I understand, is that they are taught Korean before they come to Korea, because obviously, part of their job is to be able to speak to Korean natives, right? So you kind of need. So I'm wondering, like, were you able to speak Korean before you came to Korea, or is that something you picked up along the way, or I guess probably
Okay.
a bit of both.
No, so honestly, like I had no idea, and I never learned Korean before coming to Korea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and when I came here, even then, I was not really learning or using Korean at all, because the institute that we were working with, they were encouraging us to use English. So we were trying to teach these students Bible or Bible stories in English, and we were in a way, we were training them to, like, if they have to go to another country as a missionary, they need to use English. So we were kind of training them, and I wasn't using Korean. Like Korean was not really needed where I was working.
Right.
But on my own, because I wanted to talk to like the old church gypsanim, like deacons and deaconesses, because they were the one who were doing the dishes, cooking the food and all. And I always wanted to talk to them, but then there was no communication because they were really old and they didn't know English at all. So then I started pushing myself, like saying a few words, 안녕하세요, and but still, I never like learned Korean language, like regularly or like in a formal way after I decided to complete my master's in Korea. That's where I started to learn Korean. Like I went to a Korean language program.
Okay. Sorry, I'm fiddling around with the bit rate because I think the video playback is a bit slow, and I've been trying to like adjust it.
Yeah, that's what I can see. Like it's kind of
Choppy.
yeah, it's not really that smooth.
Yeah, don't know why. YouTube used to have a connection with Google Hangouts, which was kind of a flip back and forth screen, but the connection was pretty smooth. But now they disconnected that service, so Skype is the only one that I know of that I can use on things, but that means that I've got like 3 different programs running on my computer, which I think slows it down. So I may have to move to another studio somewhere with a more powerful output device.
Okay. Well, how about like later? Does the video gets better once it's uploaded and it's already done?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
All right.
It says good connection here, so. But the sound is fine. The sound is fine. It's just the image that's kind of choppy.
Then maybe the problem is with my internet here, maybe. Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It shouldn't, because I mean we're both located in Korea, right?
Yeah. But anyways, the voice is really good. So.
Yeah, sound is fine. So, have you been back home since coming to Korea? Like,
I actually go like once a year on Christmas, most of the time. And my dad passed away like 2 years ago. Then I had to go like in the middle of the year, like in May. So he died like, he passed away May 17th, 2 years ago. Yeah, so I had to go during the year.
Yeah.
And then once I don't know what happened. Like, somebody was sick, so I had to go. No, at that time I went to Dubai, not Pakistan. Yeah, but anyways, once a year, like Christmas, I try to spend with my mom because she's the only one there now. So
right.
Mm.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
No, I mean, it's alright.
So you've been in Korea for like 10 years, you said. I came to Korea in 2005, and back then Korea was very different. Could you maybe just briefly like talk about a little bit about the changes that you've noticed Korea go through since you came here?
So the biggest change that I've noticed, I mean, like there are many changes like I've noticed, but like the biggest one that I've seen is the influx of foreigners, especially in Seoul. It's massive. Like, like there's so there was a time like Japan was a thing. Like people wanted to go to Japan.
Yeah.
But I feel like the new thing in Asia is Korea now. Like you see, so like a lot of time, like when I'm doing my interviews, people ask me like, Sharoon, where are you? Like, are you in New York or what? Like England? Because there's so many foreigners.
Right.
And so I feel like there's a lot of people traveling, not just English teachers. Like back then, I would see always like English teachers, but now it's not only English teachers. They're like people who are just traveling, or there are people who are doing some business, even just YouTubers coming here. So it's very different as when I compare like 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I just came back from Busan. When did we go? Last week. And we just went down to Hyundai, and I was surprised to see a huge number. There's a lot of Russians in Busan, and just a lot more, people of all colors, basically, that are at Hyundai, which is, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't see that. So it's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
See, there's I don't know, I very rarely, actually, I never go to Seoul, basically. I don't remember last time I went to Seoul. So the closest international city to me is Busan, man, and it's easily accessible, right? It takes me about 30-40 minutes to get down to Busan.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a lot longer to get to Seoul.
So that's one of the reasons my research when I was completing my master's was about the academic adjustment of international students at Seoul National University.
Okay.
Because that's what I noticed, that the university is accepting a lot of international students because there's like suddenly so many students are applying for the university because they want to study here. But now the university got like a lot of international students because they want like a high ranking, because when you have more international students, your university's ranking goes higher.
Right.
So they are taking all these international students, but they don't know how to cater them. Like what are their needs? Because it all happened so sudden that they have no idea what to do now, how to help them. So that's where I did my research, like what are the issues these students go through, what are the problems that they face while studying here, how do they adjust, what do they do, and that was my research.
So your MA, sorry, you mentioned your MA. What is your MA in?
My major was so I did educational administration.
Okay.
And my thesis was on the academic adjustment of international students at Seoul National University.
Interesting. Very good.
Yeah.
So a lot of the changes that occurred, did any of them affect your life in any way, I guess?
My life. I think no, I wouldn't say like those changes have changed me, but like just living in Korea for that long, like
Mm-hmm.
10 years, there are many things that I feel like have changed in me. Um, for example, what would I say? Um, I feel like I become more strict, like about things, like doing, like in Korea is like there are like certain rules that you go through. Like how would I say that? Think like yeah, I feel like I'm less flexible as compared to before. Like I've become like you follow these rules in the book and then you just go with like that. Something
Right.
I don't know. So maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, mm,
So I've watched one of your videos, and you touched on the topic of racism in Korea.
oh yeah.
So I guess maybe like I don't know. In my view, 10 or 15 years ago, the majority of expats here were probably white, right? So
Hmm.
over the years, there's a lot more people of color coming in, and I remember just reading somewhere on Facebook, somebody mentioned, there was a discussion of racism. What is it, and how does it apply to? Can it be used by different groups of people, and la da da. But so, would you say that there is more or less discrimination towards people, I guess, of color now
I
than there
think
was like 10 years ago? I guess I don't know. Have you noticed that change? Did it?
no, I think it's changing
Mm.
because I actually made one video about. So a lot of time you'll see like there are these black guys who are dating Korean girls,
Mm-hmm.
but I never saw like for 5, 6, 7 years. I never saw. I mean, there were people, but I never saw. Okay,
Okay.
that's just my personal thing. I mean, of course there were people out there, but I never saw that there is a Korean guy who's dating a black girl.
Uh huh.
So that was something I made a video on,
Yeah, I
and
saw that one.
yeah, and that had like a lots and lots of views, and that's also once where my channel started to started to explode.
Okay.
Uh, and it was my genuine interest because I wanted to know, like, okay, there are black guys, they're dating Korean girls, but I've never seen a Korean guy dating a black girl.
Mm-hmm.
And but now I've seen it. It's becoming like I've seen a lot of Koreans dating black girls. I've seen videos where Korean guys are married to black girls. If you go to Itaewon or like some areas in Seoul, you will see a lot of people are dating, people of color.
Mm.
So I think it's changing. You can see people are not shy about it. They're not embarrassed about it,
Mm.
and I guess like even before. So see, like. I was watching this video about there's a guy he's making videos about like blacks in Korea or something,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about this black guy. He was saying like I was trying to get into this club, and they are listening to black, rap and all music of black people,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't allow me to get inside.
Okay.
So it was like he was like, what is this? Like you like my music, you dress up like me, but then you don't accept me.
Right.
So but like things are, I feel like sometimes people are open about it, but then they're also sometimes shy, like what if I date a black guy, or how will people see that?
Mm.
But that is also kind of, that stereotype is also kind of breaking, but it's going to take time. But I feel like things are changing. There are I've seen, like, I saw this guy from Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
His wife is Korean and he is a YouTuber as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of time, like, people from Nepal or Bangladesh would send me messages like, Koreans look down on us because we are a developing country and all, which is true. But then, you see this, you will see like people, Koreans who are married to, people from India,
Right.
Bangladesh, Pakistan and all. So I feel like that thing is changing, but it's still, there's a long way to go.
Sure.
Hmm.
So, what do you presently do? Like you graduated just now, and I guess you're out the door, so to speak.
So this is what happened. Like after my graduation, I was looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meanwhile, I was like, I can't waste my time, just looking for a job, and I need to do something. And this is what happened. I was in my room. I was thinking about what is something I should do. And while doing my thesis, I was actually interviewing people, like international students who were facing problems and all. And that's where I was like, oh, maybe I should do this. I should try to learn a new skill. I had no idea how to use like editing softwares and all. I had no camera, nothing. I was like, oh, maybe it's a new skill. I should try to learn it, and I will. And I will also try to find a job at the same time. But I was already aiming for Japan because I wanted to do my PhD there.
Okay.
So I was trying to like write to different universities. I went to Tokyo several times to apply for some scholarships and all. And at the same time, I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, I started doing street interviews, and that's how I started this YouTube thing. And that's the thing I'm doing now, because in a week or so I'm leaving Korea. So so I can't really like apply for a proper job here anymore.
Right. So I flipped through your videos, and like the earliest videos you have posted is about 4 years ago, right? So when you started posting, like, were you seriously thinking about making YouTube videos, like of becoming a YouTube creator? Or was that something that just happened over time, and you were just, the first video may have been posted for kicks and giggles type of deal?
Yeah. The first, like, I if I remember, like, I did my very first video was like a song, maybe. Right? Yeah.
Agigom.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That was just for, at that time I was doing another master's, and I was at that time actually I was working as a missionary, maybe. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, that's what happened. Like, I was just in my room, and I was like, oh, let me try this, something fun. And yeah, I was just bored or something, and I just came up with this idea, and I just uploaded. And I made that video on my iPad. That's why the video quality is terrible.
Right.
But yeah, that was just for fun. I had no idea that I will ever do it, like, properly. If you'll see, like, after that video, there's a huge gap. Yeah, and then I came up with another video. But yeah, it was nothing. I never planned of doing it. I started after my graduation, like, properly.
Okay. What are some obstacles that you have encountered in the process? So making YouTube videos is, it's not like one of the biggest challenges I think most smaller creators are struggling with is, going outside and kind of vlogging or just recording videos outside in public, which I think you have a video about as well.
Yeah.
What are some of, I guess, other obstacles of trying to like accomplish?
So I think the biggest thing is, so in my case personally, because like I do street interviews, and that is something, it's not easy. It seems like easy, but it's not easy, because approaching people.
Yeah, no, it's not easy.
And you get, the worst thing is like when you get rejection, when somebody says no.
Right.
It just kills you. Like,
right.
Your spirit is down, like, and for me, when I started, I remember, like, for 1 hour or 2 hours, I was just going around and around in Hongdae. And I had nothing with me. Like, I had no cameraman, I had no camera. I had just my phone in my hand, and no even like a selfie stick or anything.
Right.
And I almost like got so discouraged. I was like, I can't do it. It's hard. And I was leaving, but then I was like, no, you got to go back. And then so the biggest obstacle, I think, would be consistency.
Okay.
So maybe you can make a video with all the courage, and you some friends encourage you, or you got like, no, I can do it, whatever. But then after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you kind of start to get discouraged when people are not watching your video. And that was in the beginning, and even now, like, sometimes consistency could be a challenge. Like keep going. Yeah. That's something I face every day.
Sure. How often do you upload right now? Like, you just uploaded a video before we met up here, right? Before we have had this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. So my goal is every Monday 9 p.m.
Okay.
But If I have time and chance, then I would upload um, during the week as well.
Okay. So for
Sometimes I'm
no. So for now
some
it's once a week,
yeah,
right? Mondays.
yeah, once a week or sometimes twice a week. Sometimes I miss Mondays, because of any problem, something happened, or I was busy. I might miss that, but then I do my level best to upload the video every Monday 9 p.m.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
consistency is hard.
it's very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, since I started making videos, I swore to consistency, and I chose this crazy schedule of uploading, I think, 4 times a week or 3 times a week, and then this podcast came on,
No, oh man.
and it basically killed my social life. So my
Uh,
life is just my work, my family, and then YouTube, and literally that's it. That's all I got time for.
Man, yeah, I know. Even like one video, and I saw your video editing is really good. Like yeah, I've seen that you move the video with the music beat.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
tried to do
I
that. Thanks, man.
realize that that's not easy because it really takes time. You have to choose the right music. You have to come up with these nice cuts. It's a lot of work, and 4 videos, man, that's a
Yeah,
killer.
yeah, yeah. They were not always, sometimes if I start doing it, I usually do my editing in the evening, and
All
so
right.
when the times are late and I'm just feeling exhausted, it doesn't always work out, and I get a little bit lazy. But but I
Uh,
try to.
yeah, I mean.
But thanks. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
No, 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 yeah, that's what I told you. Like your videos, like this is the thing. Once you start watching it, that you kind of keep watching it. Oh, the husband and wife are discussing. You were talking about this food. She's talking about like, yeah, this is the place, and you're like, no, this is not the place, and you're like, oh, well, what's gonna happen next? It becomes like a drama series or something. And yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
And yeah, your kids are talking about something. Your son is like in front of the camera trying to speak something, and yeah. So I think so. There's actually this. I know that I've interviewed this girl. She is half Japanese, half white, and her husband is Korean. She does that. Like she just talks and walks just like you. But I realized but she does like 3 subtitles: Japanese, Korean, and English.
Yeah, subtitles are the thing that I'm struggling with. Like my Korean, I've been here for longer than you have, but my Korean is just atrocious, to be honest. Like I'll get by. I can, manage and have basic kind of superficial conversations, not even conversations. But so for me to put up Korean subtitles would require additional help, which is really hard to get. And I don't trust Google Translate enough to make it accurate. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think like, yeah, it's all about discovery and algorithm and your consistency. But someday, yeah, your channel will start popping on people's screen and they will start watching you.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Yeah.
So since we're on that topic, you mentioned that you made a video where you were talking to a black girl who was dating a Korean dude, right? And you kind of said that this was around the time where your channel started exploding. What are some highlights of your time on YouTube?
Highlights. What do you mean by like exactly?
What would you say was, I saw you visited, there was a video about you were at a party and you were interviewing people about how to start a conversation. So that seemed like a very cool scene to be. Are there any instances in terms of your YouTube presence where you kind of went, wow, I can't believe this just happened type of deal?
Right. Okay, so this is the thing. And this is for all the YouTubers who want to start their YouTube channel. I would encourage them to do it. My videos that I thought were the worst, like the camera is shaky or the voice quality had some problem, and somehow that video got, so viral or like got a lot of hits or something.
Right.
So I was like, oh, it's not always about the good camera quality or, like how good the moves are, transitions are. It's always about like, your content. So if you have something that is relevant, something that you feel like is gonna make a contribution in the discussion or something, people will gonna watch it no matter the quality is terrible. no matter your camera is shaky, whatever. I mean, you try your best, but then yeah, I realized that it's not always about good camera movements and the voice quality. I mean, voice quality matters in my interviews, but then yeah, I realized that if you are trying to find interesting topics that are relevant, that contributes to what people are looking for, they will watch your videos no matter what. So yeah, I remember it was, which video I forgot, but there was a video. I was so mad with the cameraman, like he was smoking while shooting the video, and I was so upset. And I'm like, what a terrible quality, and that video got so viral. So I was like, wow. So yeah, I feel like all the video people who are planning to start their YouTube channel, don't worry about like, oh, I don't have good device, or I need to upgrade my camera first. Just start it, and you will discover that in the meanwhile, while you're trying new things and experimenting with different things, you will learn and you will grow gradually. So don't look for that perfect video at the first go. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that's a cool mic. Like, what is it?
The one, the big one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Zoom H6.
Zoom H6.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that
Zoom is?
It's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? What is not Wi-Fi? Bluetooth, or like how does it?
No, so I have to like transfer files.
All right.
And I don't know if I can show you that now. Where's my mic? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so it's the thing is like it's actually for podcast.
Okay.
So it has 4 inputs.
All right.
And you can actually play some music with it or something. But yeah, so that Zoom H6 is the mic that I absolutely love. The only problem, it's very bulky. But a part of that, I love it. The sound is so beautiful. Like it always cuts all the sound, around me.
Around you, right? Very cool. Yeah, okay. The other thing is there are some videos where you were shooting, I guess, like you were holding a camera. I can totally see you holding a camera, but then the remainder, you have a cameraman, and you just mentioned that you do. So who's your cameraman? Like, how did you find someone to walk around and follow you and record everything you do?
So it always depends. Like sometimes I have friends that I shoot for them.
Okay.
So we have like this kind of exchange.
Oh, all right.
So
Okay.
they do for me, I'll do for them.
Right.
Or sometimes, they're like, you can even hire people, because I don't need a professional photographer or videographer, right?
Right.
So anybody I can, the minimum wage, for example, in Korea is, let's say, 8,000 won. I'll say like, okay, I'll give you 10,000 won. Right? And if you can help me, and they're not professionals, so for them it's like, oh, they're having fun also, and it's just very simple. They just have to like shoot for me. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of time I can just ask some friends to, I can help them and they can help me.
Right. So just out of curiosity, this is like completely personal question for my own curiosity to be satisfied.
Sure, go ahead.
When was the time you finally felt like your YouTube channel was taking off? So you mentioned there was kind of around the interview that you had with the girl. How, I guess soon after or before, like how did you notice your channel taking off?
The first time when I got a negative comment.
Oh, really?
That's where I knew that something's gonna happen with my channel.
Okay.
Yeah, I at that time also I did not have a lot of subscribers. I think it was less than 1,000 subscribers at that time as well.
Okay.
But I remember once I got a negative comment, I was like, okay, because before it's all my friends who are encouraging me, or my family members, right? You like share the link, oh, please watch my new video, whatever. But this time I got a negative comment, and I'm like, okay, now there are people watching who are not my friends. They are just random people, and they don't like my video.
Right.
And I told my friend, like, who was like shooting for me, I was like, oh, Jake, I got a negative comment. I was like, oh, Sharoon, that's a sign you're gonna be a popular YouTuber now. So that's where, and I think that video was also about like Koreans on dating blacks or something. I don't know. I don't exactly remember. It was something on that. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Not the same for me. I got a bunch of dislikes. There's a video I made about how Korea is better than China, and man, that one didn't sit very well with a lot of folks. I think I got like, there's a lot more thumbs downs on that one than ups,
Oh,
and the comments that were posted on it was just, they were hateful. There were
oh,
some
yeah,
hateful
yeah, yeah.
comments.
They could be hateful. Yeah, sure, sure. Things can happen. Yeah, sometimes.
That video had like, it's probably the highest watched. It had over 600 views
Mm-hmm.
since, but yeah, the comments were nasty. But yeah, I'm still
Mm-hmm.
below 500 so far.
Well, I think that's also part of YouTube. You kind of learn from that criticism, and you learn how to, handle those. Because for me, first time when I got like these negative comments, I did not know what to do. Like, should I respond to this person? What should I do? I was right, and sometimes you feel bad also because you've worked so hard, and you have good intentions, but then sometimes people, misinterpret those things.
Right.
Yeah, but. Okay. But anyways, for me, like, yeah, my negative comments were like the beginning of my
And so,
journey.
this was like when you first got your first negative comment. That was but did it actually happen? Like, did the channel start growing after that? There was more negative comments, or just
No, so I had so when I got negative comments, so see, my YouTube channel, like a lot of people thought it was only like excitement and fun, but because I have an education major, right? So
Yeah.
everything when I did, I had something that, so I want people to think about something. So when somebody did a negative comment and there were people who disagreed with that person, they started like commenting back.
Right.
So I did not have to do everything because there was already a discussion going among different people on my channel. So of course, when so YouTube also checks that, the algorithm sees like if there's a real discussion going on,
Right.
then it starts to, recommend your channel to other people. So when there was a negative comment that somebody kind of was disagreeing with that person commented back, and then the discussion kept going, and then another person got into that discussion. So yeah, sometimes it would get really, really serious. But then yeah, we all were like learning together in the process, and my channel was being in the process was also getting recommended, to different people.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you done any? Have you ever paid to promote your channel on any platform, or like what have you done outside of creating content in terms of self-promotion?
No, never. So this is the thing, this was a guy, he was coming from Japan to Korea, and he kept asking me, Sharoon, can you tell me that which company did you pay? Where did you pay? And I'm like, no, I did not really, trust me. And he wouldn't believe.
Okay.
He wouldn't believe, like, no, it's because, so you will always notice that when you pay somebody for subscribers or followers on Instagram,
Yeah.
you will see that, for example, on Instagram, you'll see like this person has 10,000 followers, but when they upload a video
Yeah.
Or a picture, it has like 100 likes.
Right.
So that means it's a paid followers.
Right.
But let's say this person has 10,000 followers and he or she gets like 4,000 or 5,000 likes. That means they are real followers, because they are kind of, and if you see my YouTube videos, you will see there's engagement. So nobody would like go out and, write a comment on my video.
Yeah, I think you've got one video with like 184,000 views or something like that. It's pretty staggering, man.
So and you'll see there's a discussion going on. And now recently I'm changing my channel, so my views are kind of getting down.
Yeah.
Because I want to change my channel now a little bit because I'm moving to Japan and I can't do street interviews there because my Japanese is not that fluent.
But you do speak some Japanese.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I'm learning Japanese.
Many shapes.
Trying my best. So I'm gonna make a video on that. That why I'm moving to Japan and all the process of that.
Yeah.
So that video will be coming up soon. But yeah. So what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh yeah. So you will see that my videos have a discussion, and there is that means that those people, paid people, or like those the thing that you get artificial subscribers,
Right.
they don't comment or they don't do anything. So yeah, So yeah, I never ever had this thing of like paying someone. And the thing is, I would have done it if I had money. I had no money to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I had no money to do that. So yeah.
Uh, what is, you mentioned collaborations before. Have you done a lot of those? You do have like a separate playlist, right, with just collaboration. I didn't get to see those, but I'm just curious if you have done a lot of collaborations in the
I
past.
wouldn't say like I've done a lot of collaborations, but I have.
Okay,
I have done a couple of collaborations, and yeah, that also helps actually.
nice. What?
Like for example, like you when you uploaded my Facebook story
Mm-hmm.
on your, I shared that story on my story.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if people, because I've never done this before, and people are not used to this thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, I did some collaborations where like same like when I did something, they shared on their page or something, and then
Okay.
I got some recognition from there too.
Very cool.
Mm.
So, uh, one big question, and so without giving away too many tricks of the trade, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
what are some important pieces of advice you would be willing to share with the audience, or the smaller YouTube channels, like this one, like mine, for example, like
All right.
some pieces of advice that matter that would help people along.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually made a video on that as well. And I always encourage people that first thing is that, what was that? If you're planning to start a YouTube channel, first thing is please start. Don't think about, oh, I will start someday. Or I need to do this and that. Just start.
Right.
Just do it. That's why Nike says, just do it. So
Right.
just do
Right.
it. Just hold your camera, whatever you have. Just go out, experiment with different things, and then you'll find your niche. So please, if you are planning to start a YouTube channel, I would say just start. Do something that you like doing. See, this is another big problem with a lot of YouTubers. What I've seen is like when my channel started to grow, a lot of people started asking me, Sharoon, I want to start a YouTube channel. What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. And I would tell them all the time, see, this is the thing. Like a lot of people, they will watch somebody, like they would watch my channel and they want to do what I'm doing. Or let's say they've watched Casey Neistat or some famous YouTuber. They want to also try to do the same thing.
Right.
But see, that's not a problem. It's okay to try and experiment new things. But I always tell them, instead of looking outside, like YouTube or Google and other things, look inside yourself. What are you good at? What is something that's built in you?
Right.
Right? And take that built-in talent and take it out, show it to the world, and from there, start doing new things. So first look into yourself. Try to find out those built-in talents and use them first. And once you know that this is my built-in, I'm good at talking, I'm good at makeup, I'm good at singing, start that, and then from there experiment, explore, try new things. And then yeah, I always tell people that please, it's not about uploading a video every day, but even you do it once a month, be consistent, because the algorithm really, really notices that. Be consistent. So no matter what, even it's just 30 seconds video, upload a video if you have decided that I will upload a video on Saturday. Right. So that's something I think one of the reasons my channel grew, because I've done street interviews in -17 weather on the streets.
Right.
My hands freezing. You'll see like I'm wearing gloves, I'm wearing a beanie, but I'm doing it because I'm like, no matter what happens, I will be there and I'm going to do, because I'm going to upload my video on Monday, 9 p.m.
Right.
So be consistent no matter what. Try your level. Of course, you can be sick sometime, whatever, but do your level best, because YouTube always sees that who is very consistent. So yeah, be consistent. And what else? The last thing I will always tell people is that rest. Let your mind relax, because there's another big problem is people get so much knowledge from YouTube, Google, and they want to do something. And then what happens is your mind is not getting like creative or new ideas. So always take a break. Go out there without your watch, without your phone, without your money. Nothing should be in your pocket. Go out 30 minutes, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. take a walk and think about certain things. You know, the recent video that I uploaded about just a few minutes ago, it's a video because I came up with this video because I used to go out without my watch, everything, and
Right.
I saw this trash thing and it just gave me an idea. So maybe it's not a super crazy cool idea, but it's an idea. It's something that I got. I wouldn't see that thing if I had my phone in my hand.
I didn't see the video, but you just uploaded today, right? I think I
Yeah.
saw the announcements. Take charge or something like that. Was it?
Yeah, it's about like, are you the solution or the problem?
Okay. Well, I'm definitely
So-
gonna watch that.
yeah. I mean, like the thing I'm saying is that I made that video because I had nothing with me at that time. I had just my brain, my eyes. I was looking at something and I came up with the idea. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes give your mind that break
Right.
to let that creativity, you know, because your brain has so many ideas and it want to give you ideas, but you are not listening. You're listening to people outside.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, so do go out sometimes, you know. Let your brain give you more new ideas because we all are special in a special way. We are all amazing people. We have, you know, this amazing brain. So yeah, take time out. Take time out so that you have some new ideas, and that's how I get, you know, my ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess time frame. Like how long did it take you before? Because I know a lot of people get impatient, and sometimes I'm not really impatient. Like I'm not, you know, focused on the explosion or whatever. But I'm just curious to know how long it took for your channel to actually begin to grow, like in terms of times.
In my case, it took like 6 months.
Okay.
Like really when I started doing it, you know, with all my energy, right? When I started to think seriously in 2017, September or November, I think.
Yeah.
So it took 6 months, but I know that at that time there were people who had more subscribers than me, and they are still there. So it could really vary from people to people.
Right.
And in my case, yeah, it took 6 months.
Nice. What's the next step? Moving to Japan.
The next step.
You're shifting kind of your focus, you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What are your next? What's your next step? I guess in terms of YouTube, you mentioned you're doing a PhD. Like, what are your goals? I guess.
Okay, so this is something like a secret. I can't really tell you, but
Okay.
the only because I want to make this video on my channel, so I don't because there might be
no
people who
worries.
might watch it, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do want to work on my YouTube, but I'm planning. My future plans are I want to move to from just being on the channel myself. I want to try to get into like short documentary kind of thing. That's why I wanted to make a documentary about your daughter when I watch your videos.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see like what is it like for a child who is not fully Korean? What is her life as an elementary student? So because I thought you live in Seoul.
Yeah.
So I thought, what I will do is like we can do it together, like right. So we can go together. And I wanted to follow her, like, you know, what time she wakes up and she goes to school, what kind of friends she hangs out with, her lunch routine, and then, you know, all the Hagwon routine in Korea. You have to go to this Hagwon and that Hagwon, and you know, how do you guys treat her? Blah blah. Well, you know, that was like a day in the life of a halfy student, something.
Right, right.
That was my idea. So I want to make documentary where I'm not in the video, but I am trying to show a life of a student or a life of a, you know, somebody.
Yeah.
So that's one of my plans in Japan. When I'll go, I will try to make these small documentaries. But also at the same time, I might change my channel to a little bit of like a vlogging style, like yours.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to get into more like serious filmmaking kind of thing.
Right.
That's the future that I'm kind of looking at right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
See, like it's all exciting stuff. Like when I started making YouTube, my goal basically was to start recording my life here, because I realized, you know, if I had started making YouTube videos in 2000, or sorry, if I had started making videos in 2010 prior to YouTube coming into existence, you know, I would have had recorded so many interesting pieces of my life that are not present. And so what prompted me to start making videos right now on YouTube was basically, I have kids, they're little, and I thought to myself, man, my laptop, my computer memory, and something like 3 terabytes of hard drives, external hard drives, is just cluttered with pictures that I probably will never be able to siphon through again, and there's like
Yeah.
bits and pieces of videos, and it's all there, but to look through all of it's just impossible. Like, it's just sitting there and collecting dust. And I thought to
Yeah.
myself, like YouTube is perfect for just taking all these bits and pieces as they occur and kind of, mashing them into like short bits of 10 to 30-minute videos that, maybe my kids or somebody else out there may be able to look at and see what it was like.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So that was like a way to start documenting my life here in Korea and just, and abroad. And so we recently went to Malaysia, and those videos got a few views, and it was fantastic trip. Like, I personally like watching those videos because it was really cool. So I'm hoping to do a lot more of that stuff. So like, for you moving to Japan, that's got to be really exciting, because like your YouTube channel kind of took off in South Korea, so you covered, your life in one country. Now you're going to have a recorded memory of your life moving to another country and kind of experiencing new things, which is really cool, I think. So.
But this also a sad thing is like, like people watch you because of a reason. Like, okay, they like your personality maybe, or the place you live in. And people followed me because I was talking about Korea, and there are a lot of Korean lovers, right?
Right.
Now, because I'm moving to Japan, I might have that, downfall, because a lot of people might not be interested in Japan, or maybe they are.
Right.
I don't know. So I don't know how will it work. But, like you said, like you're trying to do these videos, I think that's going to be a great thing, because what I've noticed is this, once you have like 10,000 subscribers or like a more, and you get some recognition, you will see that Korean government will approach you and they will pay you money so that you can make videos about, Korean touristy areas and stuff. So even you don't make money with YouTube that much, but you can get a lot of like sponsored video. I just got an email today that they are asking I will be if I have more than 50,000 subscribers. We can get to meet the governor, and then we'll make a video where they're going and blah blah blah, and they will give us like a big money, blah blah blah. So like I feel sad now because I'm leaving, because that program is on September 20th. And now, so I do get emails now, like once in a while, like from some company or something. Oh, can you do a sponsored video? So I think like, the kind of videos that you're making, probably like once you get like certain amount of subscribers, then you will see that you'll get these emails from companies, and it will gradually get there.
Yeah, hopefully. We got a comment here from Freedom Hustler, who says, I have a horrible memory, so creating a travel vlog and just going through my old clips is a great way for me to remember stuff, even if I'm the only one that watches. Yeah, so basically, like I kind of said, because your hard drives tend to get cluttered with all kinds of, movies and stuff, so making that little video or whatever it is and kind of collecting these memories into one place and putting them on YouTube is just good for anybody, like even if it's just for yourself.
Sure. And like in your case, I feel like I'm sure, like, I don't know if your kids say that or not, they must be thinking, oh, our dad is pretty cool. Because, like YouTubers is like, for young people, it's amazing. Like, oh, somebody's making a YouTube video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think they are proud of their dad. And it's like, they will always know this memory, like, oh, our dad used to make videos and he has some pretty cool stuff. So that's also another thing,
To be honest with you, like, a couple of months ago, like at the initial stages of me making videos, my kids were very enthusiastic. Like they started, doing their own YouTube videos, and they wanted to be in and do that stuff. And my son is still in kindergarten, right?
Okay.
And I guess they had a thing about like, what do you want to be when you want to grow up? And I went to my son's kindergarten on a Parents' Children's Day. And on the wall, there are all these pictures that the children drew, and you've got like, doctors. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a fireman. And here's my son, man. He's got a picture saying, I want to be a YouTuber.
Wow.
I shit you not. I was like, are you serious? So, that was pretty cool. So
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
I was like, okay. I honestly hope that he does, man, because I think if he could, that would give him a lot of room to play in kind of a, if my kids could make a living on YouTube, I would be very happy for them because it gives you kind of a, I don't know, a relatively independent source of income, which he could then use to, I don't know, to do whatever the heck he wanted with it, go to school or whatever. But being an independent creator and being able to make a living out of that is something that is, I think, it's a good thing to have.
Sure, and like on top of that, it's more than money for me. I personally think that you get this voice.
Right.
Like imagine like you are sitting in your room, and then thousands and thousands of people are listening to what you're saying.
Sure.
So you have this power to bring impact or influence people.
Absolutely. Like, the stuff that you cover on your YouTube channel, I think is very important. Like, you do a lot of things related to race and people of different cultures. And I think that's important for especially the younger generation of Koreans who are watching your channel and like are becoming aware of the fact that, Korea is not it's not the center of the universe. And there's a lot of people from other countries. So I think, yeah, like you said, it's very important, man.
So yeah, I'm really I'm sure that your kids take pride in saying that our dad is a YouTuber. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming on the 1 hour mark, so I've got one more question for you, Sharoon.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be a surprise, non-threatening question, and I
Oh
didn't write
yeah.
down what it is, but I've got something in my mind. So here it goes, okay?
Okay.
In ancient
Very.
Egypt,
Uh-huh.
the pharaohs were buried in sarcophagi and mummified and all that stuff. And Egyptians believed that they believed in an afterlife, right? It was a different kind of form of the afterlife that the Christian religion believes in.
Yeah.
But so if you could go into the afterlife and you could bring only one item with you, what would it be?
Afterlife, and I
Yes.
bring something from. So you mean like something from afterlife?
No. So if you could have an afterlife, like in the Egyptian style, right? Like you get mummified and then you have a life in the afterlife.
Oh, so I can bring something from this time.
Yeah, so
All
basically
right.
what they used to do is they used to, put people into the sarcophagi and inside
That
the
would.
sarcophagus were placed certain items that people
Yeah.
believed, the dead would take with them on the journey into the afterlife. So what's one thing that you would take with you from the present life?
That is such a difficult question. Wow, never imagined and never thought of it. What would I bring? It's crazy. Uh, Probably my computer. And I hope that computer has Wi-Fi and internet in it.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's a fair answer, man, because, back in Egypt, they probably, the standards were different. There was no Wi-Fi, so I think we're justified in saying that this is something you would bring. We're in a modern world, right?
That's such a. Yeah, I think. You're so addicted to, our computers and phones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably answer in a similar way. Computers, laptops, or smartphones these days, right?
That's so true. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Well, Sharoon, it was a real pleasure talking with you. I hope that your channel continues to grow and it does really well. And I hope that your switch over to Japan, brings you even more success in that direction, as well as your life and your education, man. I hope you reach all the goals that you're striving for.
Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoyed talking to you actually.
Yeah, likewise. I try to keep the podcast kind of relaxed and just try to get to know people, and it was really good getting to know you, Sharoon.
Yeah. I hope to like someday, I don't know, meet in person. But I don't know. It's like the schedule got like crazy, and
Yeah. I'm glad like you agreed to this because you're leaving next week, right?
That's so true.
Yeah.
So
So
true.
I'm really glad that you agreed to do this, like, last minute type of deal. And but yeah, let's stay in touch, man. I hope that we can
Sure.
maybe do something. I don't know, collaboration of some sort. I have no idea. Where in
Mm.
Japan will you be?
I will be around like Tokyo.
Ah, okay, okay.
So yeah, if you ever come to Tokyo and
Yeah.
are planning to make a video or something, I don't know, we could do some collaboration maybe
Yeah, that'd
there.
be fantastic. Keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Who
Sure,
knows?
sure, sure.
Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. We're on Facebook now, so
Yeah.
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 Anytime. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Anyways, yeah, thank you very much. Have
Thanks.
a good night. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
you too, Sharon. Bye bye. So that was Sharoon, everybody. I gotta check if there's sound actually coming from me. So that was Sharoon. Okay, yep. I don't know what I pressed. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's really it for today's podcast. Very exciting. Freedom Hustler, kids' YouTube channels can blow up fast. Kids will rewatch videos over and over. Yes, it's true. So I just need to get my kids to actually perform on camera. They were very eager to do it initially, and now my daughter kind of is, I don't know, she's being very camera shy for some strange reason. I see kids doing all kinds of fun stuff on TV, and my kids, I think, they need to overcome the shyness. They've got, I don't know, it takes time. Anyway, just wanted to say, if you're new to this channel, if you just stumbled upon the video by accident, and if you managed to see it to the very end, which I hope that you have, because this was an interesting video, particularly to those who are in the YouTube creator sphere and are working on their YouTube channels. This was some very good advice here from Sharoon Javaid of the Sharoona channel. It was very nice to talk to him and get some feedback from someone who has grown their channel to a significant number of followers, subscribers. And what else? Quick last minute announcements. This Living Korea Hagwon Startup Podcast is and has always been supported and sponsored by Shane Korea. If you are living in Korea and are interested in starting your own business, are looking into that, or would like to get more information on how to start your own business, a Hagwon in South Korea or Gombubang, please don't hesitate to contact me. Shane in English Korea does have a very good curriculum. We offer franchises that we can help you set up throughout the country, anywhere in Korea. So please get in touch with me if you are interested in doing that. Also, as you can see right here below, the Hagwon Startup Podcast and the Living Korea channel supports the Ulsan Online website. If you would like to reach a wider audience, expat audience, if you have a business in the country, or if you live in and around Ulsan or anywhere else, if you do anything online and would like to reach a wider expat audience, then please get in touch with Ulsan Online. You can find the website at ulsanonline.com, as well as the Facebook group. Get in touch with Jason Teal, who's the chief editor and basically the guy who runs the whole thing by himself at the moment, for the most part. And you can get in touch with him and get some more information there. And in the meantime, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to this video, if you just tuned in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on the video, leave a comment in the section below if you have any questions. I see Sylvia stopped by to say hello in the last minutes, or maybe she was here all along, I don't know. Sylvia, were you here all this time or just now stopping by? Thank you, Freedom Hustler, for the comments. Thanks for stopping by, and Sylvia as well. And everybody, have a good evening. Hope your Monday is going well. Stay tuned. I'll be back on Wednesday with a quick announcement before I disappear for a short while. But fear not, there will be more coming from the Living Korea channel. And Sharoon, thank you very much for pointing out the greatness that is the Living Korea channel, and I do hope that it grows as well, just as much as Sharoon pointed out. Anywho, okay, everybody, have a good evening, have a good night, and I will see you in the next week's podcast, or at least in the next video, which will be uploaded on Wednesday. Good night, everybody.